Alright guys, so we're going to jump into some chords, and before we do that I want to talk about how to strum your guitar and how to make sure that the strings you're playing are the ones that you want to play in that chord. So first of all, when we practice these next couple chords, what we're going to do is base them off of a measure or a bar of standard 4/4 time. And what that means is we're going to play each chord for 4 beats. This metric is used typically in most songs, but this is based on the 4/4 time signature. And I'll get more into that in my music theory class, but the 4/4 time signature is what most standard Western or contemporary music is based on. So we're playing each chord for 4 beats. So you'll hear me counting for these chords. And typically what I like to do to practice is strumming on beat 1. So we're going to strum a chord and wait for the other 3 beats to get to the next chord. 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. Now when we strum, what we want to do is we want to hold our pick in a relaxed way. We don't want it to be too hard so that it breaks through the strings and it's really loud. We want the string or the guitar pick to fall through the strings nicely. Now when you pick a string, typically what you want to do is do, if you're going to just pick one string, is the rest stroke where the guitar pick pushes through the string and stops on the next one. This is going to be all through the strings, and you're just going to be pushing through like this. Take a second, mute your strings with your left hand so they sound muted. You can do it open like that if you like, but I like to keep them muted. And just practice strumming different rhythms. You can play whatever you like, but just get used to what it feels like to push through all that. I'm also going to mention while we're playing these chords a couple of different tips on how to adjust your hand. Let's take a look at what I mean about adjusting your hand. Alright guys, so when we play a chord like E minor, which we're going to take these 2 fingers and we're going to play it here. I'm going to get into more detail about this in the next video. But when we talk about this chord and it doesn't sound quite right, what I recommend doing is adjusting your knuckles. So this is this type of motion where your hand, right now my knuckles are pointed outward. I'm going to want to point them towards you. So like that. Now this is going to help stand my fingers up so that my fingers aren't in the way of other strings, and it helps me put the most pressure on my strings in the accurate way. We're going to talk about the D chord in this series. So a lot of what happens in this D chord is this finger will mute it. So what I like to do is try to stand my fingers like this on the guitar neck. And this kind of helped me get those fingers to get out of the way of the other chord. When we talk about our G chord today, I want to make sure that this finger doesn't fall on the A string, so I'm going to do that same thing and kind of adjust the knuckles. The best way to adjust your hand is this way, and in order to do so, you're going to move the thumb back and forth on, up and down on the back of your guitar neck, and you're also going to be focusing on curling your knuckles. One of the other things that is common for first-time guitar players is when they play a certain chord like this, their knuckle is going to bend inward, or all of them will do that, and that flattens your finger and it's going to spread pressure out in the wrong way on your fingers. So try to make sure you articulate your fingers from bending from this joint. So not like this, but like this. So you want to do that. Alright, so those are a couple of tips about how to strum the guitar and hold your guitar to make sure that these chords sound good and clear. Alright, I hope that helps, and I'll see you guys in the next video. We're going to talk about E minor and Asus. I'll see you over there.